Now, fans that either sold their tickets or whatever, all of a sudden an emphasis is starting to get thrown onto the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, and up.
Because of the soaring ticket costs and the record-breaking viewership, the Federal Reserve may need to step in. Fans are bidding off kidneys for courtside tickets. What sort of magic is this? Was Caitlin Clark's recovery from her injuries the catalyst for all of this pandemonium? Or was she LeBron, Steph, and Taylor Swift combined into one?
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs.
In addition to dribbling basketballs, Caitlin Clark is also dribbling bank accounts, media narratives, egos, and the WNBA. Without even realizing it, let's face it, there were times before and after her when ticket prices were sitting down, and now they're slamming through your wallet and directly into the luxury tax bracket.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, because she's really talented, especially for being Palangi, She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Like, proven fact is, they had a game on June 7th scheduled, it was going to be Angel Reese's team, which plays in Chicago. And then for Caitlin Clark's team, they were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
But what's really going on here is the WNBA veterans' meltdown energy, which seems to have gone unnoticed. They seem to have forgotten the script that states that a larger crowd equals more revenue, and that people should relax. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just a feeling that occurs when she scores 30 points. It's pervasive. It's like oxygen in the arena now. Even when she doesn't play, the numbers spike. Sales of merchandise, higher television ratings, the audience is even acting like Taylor Swift at an NFL game, which is making the higher security personnel anxious.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs. You can argue all you want if she's the best player in the league, but you absolutely cannot argue if she's the most important, because she is. She is more valuable than all the other players combined, and that is just a fact.
The worst part is that some WNBA players act as though they would prefer to defend a quick break without shoes than acknowledge it. You would think the league would give special treatment to someone who is essentially bringing the entire organization into the public eye like an ESPN point guard on a mission, but instead, some players are behaving as though Caitlin showed up and took their endorsement deals and lunch money.
WNBA is now suffering a major injury as Caitlin Clark is going to be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury, and the reason we're bringing this up specifically is the Clarkonomics effect to this. Obviously, players miss time all the time, but the Sky and the Fever were supposed to play in Chicago in about a week on June 7th. The opening ticket price was $86 because you have the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark showdown that is now box office. Yeah, those tickets are now down to $25. Down to $25 after the injury announcement. And it's supposed to take place in the Bulls Arena, the United Center, as opposed to the normal Wintrust Arena. That's about a 12,000 seat difference, give or take. So
next is the media circus, which includes camera angles that may as well be employing drones and, of course, comprehensive breakdowns with analysts foaming at the mouth the moment Clark touches the ball. It's National Geographic following the Wild meets ESPN. You'd think the players would be celebrating the publicity, but instead we're getting side commentary like, "She hasn't proven herself yet, girl. She's proven more in 15 minutes than some teams have proven in 15 seasons. Caitlin in her natural hardwood habitat as the league's social numbers spike and casual fans start debating zone defense on TikTok. Additionally, even though Caitlin Clark doesn't play, scalpers outside the arena charge as though she were Coachella's main act, and fans still pretend as though she's about to run through the tunnel. However, some teams haven't generated that much attention since the Obama administration, but all of a sudden, one rookie's absence is more noticeable than the home team's entire starting lineup. Despite this, players who act like Clark invented attention by sending out a barrage of tweets, thinly veiled quotes, and locker room shade. She's just a rookie, okay? But she's also a rookie who's filling more seats than your last 3 playoff runs combined.
Support system, that shouldn't change. I think, Caitlin knows that she has the ears and eyes in the locker room and the support that she has behind, whether it's us or anybody else. I would like to think that she knows it's there and to really take her time and make sure that she's, well enough to be who she needs to be for us, because I want the 100% Caitlin, so I'll take it.
The cognitive dissonance is insane, such as, sure, we understand that there are WNBA stars who have always been Diana Taurasi could probably elbow a brick wall, and the wall would apologize, but Clark has something that transcends basketball cultural velocity the same way Serena did, the same way Tiger did. It's that weird lightning in a Gatorade bottle that can't be taught, coached, or copy-pasted, and no one's saying she's perfect. Clark gets blocked, she gets stripped, she makes turnovers, but even her mistakes trend when she takes a charge. Twitter explodes when she gets hip-checked. It's a whole debate on sports radio when she scratches her nose. 5 blogs ask if she's injured. That's power, not because she asked for it, because she earned it. She didn't just arrive, she ignited. And if the league was smart, it would be bottling that energy instead of trying to neutralize it with salty pressers and forced elbows. But instead, some players are trying to humble her like it's a rite of passage. Girl, this isn't a sorority, it's a business, and right now Caitlin is the best sales pitch the league's had since its inception.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, what's interesting about Caitlin Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, didn't miss a beat, and all of a sudden she got a little rest. And comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
The sad part is that this should be the easiest alley-oop in league history. Take advantage of the new attention and use it to highlight all the players and sell more jerseys. And that's the real drama, because even fans outside the WNBA are beginning to notice the difference in how she's treated. Is this how we treat the player who attracts millions of viewers to the sport? Apparently, yes, if you're still emotionally healing from being left off the Nike deal shortlist. Get bigger TV deals and advance the game. But half of the league is acting as though Clark's success is an invasion rather than a revolution every time she plays, which is unfortunate because this could be a golden age if egos weren't trying to play full court and press on progress. So, yes, Caitlin Clark is a rookie, but she already has the ball, the spotlight, the media attention, and roughly $50 million worth of market influence circling her like a pick and roll. Whether she's swishing logo 3ES or just sitting on the bench sipping Gatorade, the Caitlin Clark effect is in full force, and the league can either run with it or fall behind in transition.
To describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing. A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty, so sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass, she can shoot. Man, she is a complete...
Because, let's be clear, you're not merely watching a game when the crowd yells louder during the warm-ups than before the tip-off. That's a difficult truth to swallow when you believed your agency was the only person with that sort of pull. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more cartoonishly irrational, Caitlin Clark showed everyone how much bigger the WNBA could be. Enter WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, who appears to have personally slam dunked the league into national prominence. Like, Caitlin Clark is merely an intern managing Gatorade logistics on the sidelines. Sis is out there delivering PowerPoint presentations titled, How I Saved the WNBA. In the Final Four, Kathy Angelbert didn't let South Carolina score 40 points. Kathy Angelbert is now strutting around like a brilliant marketing sorceress who brought all of this to life with a press release and a vision board. She didn't break college viewership records, start a national merchandise explosion, or teach men who had never watched women's sports what a dribble handoff is. Ma'am, you're just fortunate to be clinging to the edge when it's trembling because the Caitlin Clark effect is a cultural earthquake rather than a team-building activity.
Crazy was this season versus the seasons past.
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft on a Thursday afternoon, from that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season tickets. But even something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance requests went up 150% this season. So you talk about the Fever, the team, which is what we've been working on,
Just remove Caitlin Clark from the equation, and all of a sudden, the roaring crowd appears more like a high school reunion at a silent disco. The ESPN coverage is once again buried under the ratings of 2012 bowling reruns and cornerhole championships. So let's just say they'd be doing the limbo under basement levels. But Kathy's on a tour. Every mic she sees is apparently a chance to drop the phrase strategic growth initiatives, like she's Steve Jobs presenting the WNBA iPhone. Sure, Kathy, because the nation definitely showed up out of nowhere to watch Indiana Fever games. Because of your Q2 marketing projections, nothing screams mainstream appeal like the sudden urge to watch teams that 2 seasons ago couldn't fill the second row at a bake sale. She's treating Caitlin like a background dancer in the Beyoncé tour of Kathy Saves the WNBA. Meanwhile, we all know the entire production would still be rehearsing in a YMCA gym, if not for Clark walking in with her gravity-defying pull and turning the whole operation into a national obsession. But instead of rolling out a statue, Kathy's rolling out speeches on how we've worked really hard behind the scenes for this growth. Behind the scenes, please. The only thing behind the scenes is the reality check waiting to tackle you if Caitlin takes a week off.
Shame on you. Kathy Engelbert pens this beautiful article written by Kathy, about Kathy, for Kathy, explaining why she is solely responsible for the boom of the WNBA. Folks, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. The commissioner of the WNBA on transferring the league ahead of a breakout season. And what was that plan that Kathy Engelbert put in place? Working in partnership with my new WNBA team members, NBA colleagues, and WNBA owners, we developed a strategy with 3 pillars. The league would think player first.
The truth is that one player brought this entire organization into prime time. And now Kathy is attempting to rebrand it as a group initiative, which isn't Kathy's grand aim. If Clark decided to quit tomorrow, the league would collapse faster than a player on a buttered floor. The WNBA would be hiring Secret Service to protect Caitlin Clark in between games and bubble wrapping her like she's carrying the nuclear codes. Forget load management. This is legacy management, and the league is fortunate to be riding along for the ride while feigning it's called shotgun at this point. Not only is she a rookie, but she is the main attraction, the halftime show, and the entire advertising campaign combined into one. And yet she gets clobbered at every game like she's walking into a clearance sale with a full cart, drawing more fouls than a vegan cafe's chicken nugget, while the referees stand there saying, play on, what are we playing, Max Fury Court?